So oftentimes the right wing will complain if there are protests at speeches that they make on college campuses, or sometimes they'll be barred from a college campus because people are either offended by their speech or there is going to be widespread protest and the campus doesn't want it. And they make it seem like they're special victims, that it doesn't happen to anyone else. Well, it happened to Anna as well, and this happens, in my estimation, far more frequently because it happens in the darkness, and it happens by board members who are far more conservative and overrule the will of their students, but it doesn't get any publicity. But I wanted to point it out because it adds to the conversation in the country, and you need to know that the snowflakes on the right are not the only victims in the world, and who are, oh my God, aggrieved, and all those people who pretend to be freedom of speech advocates. Well, then, in a case like what happened to Anna, you guys should be activated and be just as mad, right? If you're being honest about it. So what happened, and let me just summarize, and then you tell me what I've got right now.
Can I just explain
you take
what
it
happened?
from here.
Yeah,
Yes.
just so everything is accurate. So a while ago, definitely over a month ago, I got contacted by a third party that was hired by a university to essentially put together an event. It's Diversity Week at this university in Colorado. And so the third party contacted me and asked if I would be willing to speak at the university. Now, you guys know I love being on a college campus. And so I got excited right away and I said, yeah, I love speaking on college campuses, sure. And so he told me, okay, great. The reason why I'm reaching out to you is because the student body nominated you to speak on a panel about, a changing America. That was the title of the panel. And, it's usually university events are not, I don't know, they're not anything controversial, so I didn't think anything crazy would happen. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, I would love to do it. Let me know when. It was supposed to take place in mid-April. And so he said, all right, the board is going to meet, and the board will make a final decision, and I'll reach out to you before the holidays. That's right, it happened before the holidays. So I was excited, didn't hear back from him until after the holidays. When I emailed him to figure out what was going on, I wanted to make sure I had my schedule worked out for the year, and if I was going to take time off to go to Colorado in mid-April. And so he reached out to me again and just said, yeah, it turns out that some members of the school board do not like what you have to say about Trump and don't like what you had to say about some Trump supporters, right?
Specifically women who voted for Trump.
Yeah, women who voted for Trump. Now, here's the thing. On election night, I said negative things about females who voted for Trump because I disagree with them. I think it's stupid to vote for Trump because he has shown time and time again that he thinks of women as second-class citizens. Did I use some profanity in my argument? Yes, I did, right? But that's not something that I regret and I will never take back, okay? And it's not because I'm a bad person. It's because I don't make arguments unless I mean them and unless there's some logical reason behind them. And I've explained those logical reasons over and over again. So nonetheless, the school board decided to veto the vote of the student body, which again nominated me to go speak at this university in Colorado. And I was upset for about 2 minutes. And then I realized, okay, well, this is the price you pay when you're unfiltered, when you don't censor yourself and you speak your mind. And it is what it is. I'm going to move on. I'm never going to change who I am because I want to appeal to more people or make more money or anything like that. So anyway, I told Cenk about it, and then that was it. We moved on. And then the whole thing at Berkeley happened, and it's this reoccurring thing where conservatives are like, oh my God, these liberal campuses, can you believe what they're doing to me? No, but it happens to liberals too, except liberals don't want to be a news story and they don't make a huge deal about it, right? Now, the more I think about it, the more angry I get because with other people who make a big deal about getting banned from campuses, they go against the will of the students to provoke a reaction. In my case, I got nominated by the student body and the school board decided to veto it just because they don't like what I have to say about Trump and some of his supporters. So I don't know, I'm frustrated by it, but at the same time, I don't want to demonize the school and I don't want to demonize anyone. I just want to make it clear that this kind of stuff happens to a lot of people who have controversial opinions.
So I think a little bit more pissed off about it than you are because they voted, and like you said, in this case, it's not a minority of dorky college Republicans. The three of them want this guy to come and speak, and then, by the way, they pay him a ton of money out of all of your funds to go speak, right? And the rest of the student body don't want him. And that's part of the reason that they protest. In this case, the student body wants it, and some conservatives on the board go, no, I like Trump and she doesn't, so I'm going to ban her. So I don't, like, part of the reason we didn't talk about it before the Berkeley thing is because I don't want to get people in trouble. I don't want to get the third party in trouble. And we're such liberals that I don't even want to get the college in trouble. But I'm now a little pissed. And so this probably happens far more often. And because conservatives cry so much, they get all the attention, and progressives don't cry nearly as much. We don't have the victim mentality that right-wingers have.
Yeah.
So then it goes unaddressed. And conservative board after conservative board probably does this all the time, and nobody ever fights back against it. So, well, we are in the fighting back business. So, okay, then game on. So, first of all, we don't know which university in Colorado asked for Anna because it was through a third party. But one of you guys probably do. I mean, who's having a diversity week in the middle of April that's in Colorado?
Yeah.
I'm sure one of you guys know which college that is. Let us know. Second of all, I got news for you. You guys voted for Anna, and they didn't let you have her speak there. And that's because they disagreed with her political opinion. Literally, that's what they said. We were offended by your political opinion about Trump voters.
Yeah, by the way, Diversity Week, where the school board apparently does not allow diversity in opinion when it comes to these panels and these discussions, which I find super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you think that college campuses are liberal, and some of them are. Of course, I know that. And I went to a liberal college campus, and I was a Republican there, and I was sometimes besieged. I understand that, and there's some truth to that. But oftentimes the administration or the board or the alumni are not at all liberal. They're the exact opposite, and they're the people who control. They have real power. They control the money, and behind the scenes, they push in a conservative direction. Mm-hmm. They don't care if the students are liberal. They're like, that's a sad day for you. No. Now, did they go around checking all the conservatives' opinions and whether liberals found them offensive? Are they only allowing speakers that are totally bland and have not offended anyone? No, that's certainly not the case. We see it all over the country. So now we're calling it out. You know, I don't know what the right answer here is. First of all, if you're from that college, you should be pretty pissed, and you should demand to get the speaker that you asked for. And you should wonder why your board is secretly, how many other speakers have they spiked because they were Democrats or liberals or progressives, and the board was offended by them, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's a good question. And then broadly speaking, you know, I don't know that there's a giant answer to the whole issue on college campuses. I will say this, if you want a speaker, don't let your conservative boards dictate who can and can't speak on your college campus.
Don't let your liberal boards dictate who can and can't speak on college campuses. Look, we've been on the record in regard to conservatives who are going to these college campuses. Yeah, their intentions are to provoke a reaction and become a news story, but I still think it's important to let them go speak. Right?
Absolutely. Let them speak. Who cares? Let the 7 people who like him show up and be done with it. And then you're going to bring on a progressive and 700 people will come and we'll have a real conversation and that'll be fine. But there's no harm in letting both sides speak. I don't care if you're offended or not offended by it. It's a college campus. We're supposed to have a diversity of opinions, especially on Diversity Week, and we're supposed to debate those things. So even if the right wing is super sensitive about it and they're, et cetera, that's okay. Just let everybody speak.
I agree. And help us find out which college campus it is. I'm really curious to find out.
Let's put some watchers on the wall. Investigative journalists to run down the Trump administration and the establishment. You can make that happen. tytnetwork.com/go.